You know, I was just kind of musing about the traditional ratio of gold to silver. Let's say it was 50 to 1. That would put silver at $70 an ounce. So we might be staring sometime this year at $70 simply because it looks like the ratios are normalizing to traditional balance.
I think it's time to finish out my stacking goal for the year. Just get it done now so I'm not paying too much for my silver.
The worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
We're now down 43%.
This could be the most serious recession in decades.
Protect your retirement with gold and silver IRAs. Learn more at sdbullion.com/IRA.
Harry, it finally happened. Silver is over $40 an ounce.
Not only that, but gold's over 3,500. Yesterday was a holiday, but overseas the markets were open and they both crossed over these psychological barriers of $40 on the silver and 3,500 on gold, which I believe is a record high, at least intraday high. And silver hasn't been this high since, I believe, 2011. So we're now $8, a little over $8 off the all-time high of silver. So I think things are breaking out and should be pretty exciting around here today.
I mean, just looking at the board here, I've never looked up and seen $40 silver, $3,500 gold. It's just blowing my mind. I mean, a lot of people said silver's not even going to 20. We've doubled that now.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think back to the dark days of COVID, silver actually plunged for at least a day, or part of a day, below $13. It wasn't that long ago. If you could find any that day and had bought any, look where you are now.
I remember that day, I came into the shop and Harry had one silver eagle. And I ended up buying that silver eagle. It was my cheapest silver eagle. I have it. I should bring it in with the receipt. I was buying silver like crazy at that time. And I remember I was just talking to my buddy. I was like, hey, dude, do you remember when I was telling you buy all the silver that you can? Like, this doesn't happen. I mean, now we're at $40. And he's like, hey, Adrian, thanks for letting me know.
Seriously.
So it's awesome.
Well, now that silver has crossed over 40 and it's holding, I mean, I thought it was going to get crushed back down, but it's staying above 40 for now.
Well, let's take a closer look at these numbers. Silver's down 43 cents today.
I know.
That means yesterday it was over $41 an ounce.
It kind of makes sense, though, that after Labor Day, when the U.S. market opens, silver does kind of take a hit because there's a lot of profit taking, right?
There's profit taking, but when I got in, it was about 6 a.m. this morning. Silver was down 96, 97 cents an ounce, and now it's come back 50 cents in the last 3 hours. So I think today we may finish in positive territory. I really do.
Wow.
But it seems to be holding well above 40, which I believe was a real psychological barrier.
Well, and I did post in a recent video that Peter Schiff has said once silver goes over 40 and stays there, it's a quick run up to 50. Do you think we'll see that?
I mean, I thought so yesterday. I was thinking about your video where you talked about that because yesterday it blew past 40 and 41. So it was just an amazing thing to watch on a holiday, but still the market was open and it was great viewing.
What do you think, Adrian? I mean, now that we're past 40, is 50 right around the corner?
I think so. I think what you were saying, it's, once we hit that $40 barrier, I think it's just going to climb higher and faster. Just like at what happened yesterday, we were over 41 and it didn't seem like it was going to stop. Today there's a small correction, but like Harry said, it was down almost $1, but now we're back up over 50 cents from where it started in the morning. So I definitely think that there's a lot of room to go, but it's also going to happen a lot faster. I think we've talked about it a few times, how silver kind of coils for a bit and then you have a breakout, and when it breaks out, it's just, it gets going.
You know, I was just kind of musing about the traditional ratio of gold to silver. I mean, 50 or 60 to 1 is not an unusual thing over time. And let's say it was 50 to 1, that would put silver at $70 an ounce. So not only is Adrian right about 50 being imminent, I think maybe we might be staring sometime this year at $70 simply because it looks like the ratios are normalizing to traditional balance.
Well, because I'm worried about the price going up, I think it's time to finish out my stacking goal for the year. Just get it done now so I'm not paying too much for my silver.
How far off are you?
I only need 20 more ounces, Harry.
20 more ounces?
Yeah, I think I see some cowboys down there. Let me open up my stacker vault here. This is my second one of these boxes. I'm trying to fill. And this is by far the best way to protect your silver, the best way to transport your silver. These cases are absolutely fantastic. You can see here I've got 11 tubes. These are all full. We have room for one more tube, and then that'll be my whole goal for the year.
Okay. By the way, folks, we will have these back in stock shortly. We've got 200 on order, and I believe we'll be getting that shipment maybe within a week. Anyway, you've got some choices here. We've got plenty of buffalo rounds, and we've got some other varieties if you wanted to have a mix and match tube, whatever you'd like.
Look at that right there. We have a cowboy. I'm definitely picking that one up. I think I might get one of these, the Sunshine Minting rounds, because they have that cool verification feature. Maybe I'll show that off in a future video. Look at that one there, Freedom. It's the Silver Shield. What do you think about the Silver Shield products?
Yeah, I like them. I like the designs.
Some of them are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a great example, the one that you just pulled there.
Yeah, look at that one there, Justice. Yeah, these are cool. I know they do a ton of different designs.
This has a date on it, 1983.
You like that one, Harry?
I do. It just reminds me of, I was working in a coin shop in Los Angeles in 1983, and so it's kind of fun to see that.
I'll definitely have to add that one to the stack. And I think I might get just the rest in buffaloes. All right, so we got 6 fun silver rounds and then 14 of the buffaloes. That'll be a whole tube of 20 here.
Yes.
Adrian, don't you have a little trick for filling up these tubes?
Yeah. So the best way to do it, kind of stack up your roll there, and you kind of go from the top there. That way you don't
He's
scratch
done
your
that
rounds
before,
and-
hasn't he?
Like a pro.
And then you're all sealed up, ready to go.
Let's see what a stacker box looks like when it's complete.
Look at that.
That is nice.
And I do have the desiccants here. This kind of keeps the moisture out. Although these boxes are waterproof, airtight, and if you take them on a plane, they have this little valve here which automatically will let the air out. So this won't warp, it'll stay sealed. And these are just a great way to carry your silver around. Feel how heavy that is.
Oh, how many ounces are in there?
There's 240.
That feels good.
So there we go. That actually completes my goal for the whole year.
Well, if it runs up and keeps going, again, I've talked about this before, $40 is a very high price, but compared to say 70, it's gonna be a bargain. So you may wanna keep your dollar cost averaging going, maybe fill up another one of those stackers.
I might go for a third.
There you go.
And you know, actually my mother-in-law wanted me to buy some silver for her as well, just because the price is going up and we don't really know where it's headed from here.
Sure.
And she wanted to get some constitutional silver.
All right.
And I know you mentioned the Benjamin Franklins are your favorite of the half dollars, right?
Yes.
So she's got $100 to spend. How many of these could we get today?
Well, we're at 30 times the face value, which puts those at $15 per. She can get 6.67. Let's call it 7. Let me get her a 2.
All right, rounding up, I like that.
That's how Harry rolls.
No one's ever unhappy when you round up.
A little bit of extra silver.
I'll
Okay.
try rounding down, see what happens.
So we got 7 Benjamin Franklins here. She's gonna love this. So I'm leaving with some silver. I've got some silver for her. Harry, I wanna ask you this. In a recent video, I mentioned silver is getting added to the critical mineral list. Do you think that's gonna have an effect on silver price? What are your thoughts on that?
You've got industrial and military, more importantly, demand for silver and other metals and things like rare earths. But let's talk about silver. There's only so much available above the ground right now. Even if mines open, as you were theorizing, it's going to take years to get them actually delivering silver. So there's a finite supply right now, and the demand just got greater because the government designated this as a critical metal. And I think a lot of that is what's behind the rise yesterday and today. And also, I think the weakness of the dollar is playing into this, both the gold and the silver prices.
So you think ultimately it's probably bullish for silver in the short to midterm?
Oh, way bullish, because you've got an actual government, ours, saying this metal is now critical. And something else I read this morning, Saudi Arabia has this special fund where they put away wealth for the future, which I think is actually very wise. They actually have started investing in silver. They invested $40 million, which for them is probably, petty cash. But the truth is, they've now designated silver as a metal that has a place in their portfolio of future savings. And so in that fund, starting this past couple of days, they've invested 40 million in just silver.
Wow.
Yeah, so all these factors are playing into the rise the last 2 days.
That's very telling. What Harry said is, if you have big countries like that putting $40 million into silver, I mean, they're stacking. So I would say there's a lot of positive news around silver, and with it being over $40, over 41 yesterday, I mean, I think it's only going to keep going up, and it's interesting to see what's going to happen here in the next week.
So I remember when I first started stacking, a tube of silver rounds like this was worth about $300. And now with the price going up to 40 bucks an ounce, this tube is $800, but if we hit 50, it's going to be $1,000 for a tube of rounds, Harry. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and I hope that the average person, who really is the bulk of our customers, isn't priced out the way they have been on gold. It's amazing what it takes to fill a tube now monetarily. I remember the days when silver rounds were about $3 each, and so it would have been $60 to get a tube back in the 80s, in the early 80s. So, you know, you just got to live in the times you're in and pick your spots. But right now, those who've invested in silver, say, in the last year, got to be happy. You've got to be happy.
I'm not complaining. Well, I'm happy with picking up my silver today, and I got some for my mother-in-law. She's going to be stoked. So it's a good day trading some cash for silver, but I don't know. We'll have to see where the price goes, Harry. It's going to be interesting.
I'm going to say goodbye now and go warm up the checkbook. We're going to be doing some buying today.
I think you will. Hey, thank
Good
you
to
so
see
much.
Silver Dragons.
Thanks a lot, Adrian.
Thank you.